Hey guys, Dan and Go here. Here with another weekly result show. Unfortunately, that website for EU is down, so it's kind of an estimated number. Um, I did actually check last night because I was doing some big hunts. I did Leviathans. I did the Diakiba Wave solo twice with the big 50 pet boss at the end. And all the mobs in between. I also did the Malfoy Wave solo. Um, so I kind of knew I was down quite a lot. I was down 300 pets when I checked, and I did a little bit more, so I'm estimating I was down 400 pets last night. It's okay, it happens. But yeah, so I just kind of estimated the number, even though the website isn't working for login. Um, as that, so down about mm, about 400 pets on the week. And let's go show the skills up 550 skills. Um, for I mean, we're sort of sitting pretty mid-level. For where we've been in the past year. Obviously, the high point was well, just outside of a year. Was on 515. We briefly hit a positive 436 peds. Obviously, at that point, I wasn't keeping records as much because the next recording is almost 25 days later. So it'd be nice if I had kept more records, but at that point, I wasn't tracking for this sort of purpose. But yeah, I mean, that's the last positive point was 13 months ago. And then there've been you know I guess right before kind of the main introduction of all the twin weapons that was there. And then obviously once the twin weapons, got really into play, the low point we sunk down to a low point of it was sort of near 8,000. So this is pretty mid-range, kind of about yeah, pretty mid-range. I think the big thing was that when the twin weapons basically hit the scene. I think I was just not, my skill wise, I wasn't even prepared to compete at all. I've done a lot to sort of improve the skill situation I have. So I think I'm a lot more competitive, even without the high caliber weapons. So that's some of that. Also gonna kind of go over my sort of strategical updates. I'm gonna be spending a little bit less time playing the game, I think. I'm working a lot on cleaning. And some various things. I also just like need more rest and stuff like that. So I'm still playing, but I also have more strategical updates. And that, not that that's not. I mean, playing less, but I do have also a modified approach to the game I'm going to be taking moving forward. Um, I'll go into that later. But a nice things is that I've obviously what is this at? This is at I think this is 91 lands, 91 lands. So Atlas Earth, a lot of you have joined, so that's really cool. I see a lot of you guys working on it. Just so you kind of get a sense of the pace of the game, because once you get a land in Atlas Earth, it's yours forever, unless you sell it. But it's basically yours forever. But you start off with like one land, okay, and then you work up. So in the first 5 months I've been playing, I've earned 25, almost $26. That's 260 pets. So I'm averaging, you know, 50 pets a month. But the thing is that it's progressive because you start off with one land. At that point, the first month I made almost nothing, because I'm just getting lands. But now that I'm at 90 lands, I'm averaging basically over $10 a month. I mean, obviously, you don't see that at this point, but you kind of get the structure of it. Is that you, around 150 lands? That's at least in the U.S. where you're hitting about 180, 190 dollars a year. That's 1,800 peds or 1,900 peds a year. So it's making pretty good progress on this, and I'm glad a bunch of you have been joining and just keep with it because um, and don't even if you're really early on, don't even worry about boosting. To be honest, just get the lands. Don't worry about boosting until you got at least 15 lands or 20 lands. Once you start getting 20 lands and start boosting, you're gonna see that you're gonna get it. You know, um, and you start building, and pretty soon you're gonna be at $5 a month. So that's you know, 50 pet a month you can put into the game every single month. So I think it's a pretty, a good thing. It takes a lot of patience. It's not gonna happen, in the first few months, but you get it like, obviously the first 5 months, I'm not averaging 50 pet a month, but at this point, I'm really, moving forward, I'm averaging 100 pet a month, and then pretty soon it'll be, more like 150 pet a month, as you keep building up all those little lands. It just takes time. It's a slow game, but very powerful. So, continuing with Ludius, whatnot. So that's kind of just that. Um, but my sort of bigger strategical thing is um, my approach to the game has been mostly high MU. So I've been not that I've been neglecting codex, but I don't really care about codex. I haven't really cared about codex. Like for example, let's go back. One of the codexes I just hit this week. Oh, not Cyrene. Let's go Calypso. Calypso. So Maphoid. I hit so yeah, I hit repeatable Maphoid number times 3. So you can see like I'm like these things that I really like, although, some of this is like stuff I did early on, like I don't really think curbs is a good idea. But that was like early me, making a lot of mistakes, but it felt good. Because there was a high level player. I mean, it was kind of a low level society, but I mean, it was good because we really talked a lot. Fortunately, the group kind of just fell apart. But it was really cool what it was, he did curbs, and I think his curbs are good for power leveling. But I don't really recommend that. I think there are better ideas. But he was kind of like the best player I knew at that time, and so I kind of followed his example because he was having some success. Um, I think long term it wasn't the right way to go, but it was okay. Um, I wouldn't recommend it though. I think that's so much better ways to go. But the point is that a lot of these repeatables I've gotten pretty high on. So strategically, like I've been focusing like these are high MU mobs. These are token dailies. So I've been focusing a lot on MU. Exosars was high MU with the Blizzar. Obviously, it's unfortunate. It is what it is, Um, but the games get updated, but Combibo is higher MU. It's a token daily. Um, so yeah, my approach has been really heavily MU and don't really care about doing a lot of meta. I'm gonna flip that entirely. I'm gonna focus I'm gonna focus on just small mobs and not even care what the MU on them is, just bulk levels. So today I popped Farron Codex. It's not super small, but like a sort of target would be like, okay, I'm gonna pop Karabook, Helix, Gallard, stuff like that. So I'm gonna just like try to get as many, maybe 2 or 3 really tiny codexes a day. I don't even think that'll take that long. So my sort of goal is to really pump the meta. I think that'll really benefit my game. Um, so and that actually comes also down to I was thinking through things. Um, you know, because I got if you want to do a lot of things, and also just not play smarter, not harder. I started thinking through like I mean obviously there are these returns heroes, Civil little back to that, but also let's just be honest about these returns. So I had an in-game business. I would estimate I made about 10,000 pets off of it before I stopped. Just the changes to the game, it made it really hard to continue the business. But before I stopped that business, I made about 10,000 pets. My Twitch stream, I distributed 8,000 pets to the viewers. But I made 6,000 pets myself. So I actually, distributed more to the viewers than I did myself. But I got, a good amount. I would say, from deeds, whatnot. I don't know, just throw that out. 2,000 from streams, 2,000. I think some of these are not exactly, but I mean, what I'm basically just saying is, I was just thinking through all the sources of income I've had in the game so far. I think, streams and other pet sites, I probably actually closer to like 4,000 or so. Because I got 800 pets last year from Loot TV. I've got well over 3,000 pets, I think, from Udius. Yeah, so I mean, that's probably conservative. It's probably more like 5,000, but maybe the business is a little overvalued. I don't know. But anyway, the point is that these are sources of incomes I've had, you know. So if we talk about that, the source of incomes I have, just to be real about this, that's 22,000 pets of income I've had, which also means that I've ground, like 28,000 pets negative, um, which to me, based on my theory of loot and MU, that actually still puts me in range of a pretty big HOF. And I think that I will continue to move into the positive. So, it's definitely something that I'm working on. Uh, I got some other things in life I want to work on more. So may take a little bit of a backseat, but continue to definitely play every day, just maybe not as much. But also, I think the small mobs, to pop, 2 codex levels, and that's kind of my goal. Except next island, for example, next island I can't do. But also coming out with rock. I mean, um, the news is that Mindark bought Rocktopia. Now I'm not entirely. I think it's true. I'm a little confused where it was announced from. So I'm not going to take it as 100% gospel, but let's just believe that it's true because most people believe it's true. I'm a little cynical of things, but who knows? But let's believe it's true. I don't think there's a good reason to believe it's not true. So that's a lot of new codecs. So that's a lot of meta I can pop in there. I mean, I just did hit level 77 laser sniper. My belief is that the more metas I get, it'll make it a lot easier for me to advance quicker on skills. I believe that metas are skill multipliers. So essentially, I'm trying to get more skill multipliers. So at this point, basically, going back to that sort of theory, you know, I- I've down 22,000 plus this. I mean, obviously, but I think the thing is my MU has been strong. Obviously there are points in the game where it hasn't been strong. But I believe that fundamentally my MU is strong, so I believe that this should go into the positive eventually. It's just a matter of fact is I'm just not skilling well, I think is the problem. So that's going to come down to the new strategy is we are just going to focus on skilling well, low cost, high skill, skill faster, and I think that will help me get into the positive. That's the theory. But the other thing too is also, um, you know, doing that, like for example, Furin, doing 2 or 3 metas a day, should be pretty quick to do on certain planets. Like for example, Arcadia, I could probably get like 3 or 4 within an hour. Yeah, maybe not. That's a little bit. But I mean, if getting a few of these is not that hard on here. Calypso, it's gonna be a pain, but I mean, I can do that too. I mean, for example, I just gotta find where some of these mobs are and just do it, you know, like for, I mean, maybe not like Führer, for example. Let's go rank, let's go down here, for example. Like, obviously some of these are pretty big, so not really in that goal, but, um, for example, this one, I- I- Igni, or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's a pretty small mob, so I just gotta find a good spawn and just like pump that thing. You know, I mean, I bet you if I could find a good spawn, I could pop multiple levels in an hour. You know, so you know, I gotta take something like that to 10. You know, obviously, like this is not a that's not the sort of goal. That's not the goal. What would be in sort of range of the goal? Well, this one definitely is. But even like I don't think that's a big mob. I just got to find a spot for it. I mean, maybe it's a little bit big, but I think that getting a few levels of this would be just got to find a spot, you know? Like, hmm, yeah. I mean, I think that. Oh, but this one, like Derpy, this one, yeah, that one should be able to pump to 10 pretty fast. Um, bother. But yeah, Calypso's a little bit harder, but I mean, on the other hand, you know, like minor bots, okay, that's not too hard, not too big. Maybe not exactly what I'm looking for, but you know, a lot of these just there. And the other thing too is I got a lot of these like partially done. You know, like just like finishing off a lot of these levels, for example. Like Ugabara. Yeah, well, that one I should just like power level this one too. Um, you know, Snavel Snout. This is like cost nothing to pop, so. Then, like on Cyrene, you know, Cyrene I've got a ton of easy stuff, you know, the Crystal Peds. Um, I don't know how, the Jelly Worms is pretty low. I feel, and basically the point is, well, Plex is getting up there, but the point is, I think that you know, per the ped, I've got a ton of these I can pop pretty easily. And maybe even some of the bigger ones, the early levels might not be too bad. Next Island obviously kind of doesn't fall in that goal at all. You know, still be committed to Next Island. Just you know, probably just go with my old theory there. I mean, I don't think the theories are opposing. Um, I just think I need to skill better. And if I can get to some little desec, maybe I don't know. We'll see what. But actually, on Toulon, for example, I think that you know, there's quite a lot here. I mean, Tab I think still would move pretty well, so I should just if I you know work on Tab, get a few levels out of that. But even still, I think well, you know, here's a little, you know, Toulon's a little more developed for me, but there's some room for you know getting a few levels here, obviously. That's kind of my theory. I mean, I don't know how, you know how long I'll be able to maintain you know a lot of meta game, but even a little bit of meta game, if I focus on that for a couple months, I think will be good. And it's also suitable for, you know, playing a little bit less long, you know, have more time away from the game, sort of thing, while still, you know, developing and playing and being part of the community, you know. So it's kind of my, you know, theory and goal of things, at this time. So see how it shakes out, but like you know, obviously, you know, hopefully, you know, do SSI and whatnot, but maybe you can pop, you know, one or two of the small ones here, and then see how it goes, you know. But yeah, I don't really know that I have a lot more to say. I'm just trying to like, relax more and just take it easy. But yeah, I'm having fun in the games too, so that's cool. I think it's good not to get like too close to things sometimes, you can get really involved in a project, and sometimes I think that, you can get really involved in trying to, improve in something like EU can get kind of a little much. Um, Not that I don't have fun, but sometimes you can, get a little too close to it, and also just gets a little grindy if you take a step back a little bit. I think can be helpful, but still gonna keep working at it. I think it's going well and I'm having fun. Just got to skill a little bit better is what I think. So that's the goal is to pump that meta, and see how it goes. I'd probably call it a video. I think I'm just not very talkative today. That's cool. I mean, is what it is. So I think that's a good video, and thank you all for watching, and catch you next time. Okay, have a good one.